I hold it to be the inalienable right of anybody to go to hell in his own way. Love is an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. A poet never takes notes. You never take notes in a love affair. I am a writer of books in retrospect. I talk in order to understand. I teach in order to learn. Being the boss anywhere is lonely. Being a female boss in a world of mostly men is especially so. You can be a rank insider as well as a rank outsider. I'm not confused. I'm just well mixed. Freedom lies in being bold. Writing free verse is like playing tennis with the net down. I always entertain great hopes. Take care to sell your horse before he dies. The art of life is passing losses on. A civilized society is one which tolerates eccentricity to the point of doubtful sanity. If one by one we counted people out for the least sin, it wouldn't take us long to get so we had no one left to live with. For to be social is to be forgiving. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Forgive me my nonsense, as I also forgive the nonsense of those that think they talk sense. No tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. No surprise in the writer, no surprise in the reader. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. By working faithfully 8 hours a day you may eventually get to be boss and work 12 hours a day. Poetry is about grief. Politics is about the grievance. Forgive, O Lord, my little jokes on thee, and I'll forgive thy great big joke on me. Thinking isn't agreeing or disagreeing. That's voting. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words. A diplomat is a man who always remembers a woman's birthday but never remembers her age. The father is always a Republican toward his son, and his mother's always a Democrat. A poem begins in delight and ends in wisdom. You can't get too much winter in the winter. A bank is a place where they lend you an umbrella in fair weather and ask for it back when it begins to rain. Two such as you with such a master speed, cannot be parted nor be swept away from one another once you are agreed, that life is only life forevermore, together wing to wing and oar to oar. In 3 words I can sum up everything I've learned about life, it goes on. The only certain freedoms in departure. A liberal is a man too broad-minded to take his own side in a quarrel. The world is full of willing people, some willing to work, the rest willing to let them. What we live by we die by. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. To be social is to be forgiving. Hell is a half-filled auditorium. My sorrow, when she's here with me, thinks these dark days of autumn rain are beautiful as days can be. She loves the bare, the withered tree, she walks the sodden pasture lane. There never was any heart truly great and generous, that was not also tender and compassionate. And were an epitaph to be my story I'd have a short one ready for my own. I would have written of me on my stone, I had a lover's quarrel with the world. We love things, we love what they are. To be a poet is a condition, not a profession. Style is that which indicates how the writer takes himself and what he is saying. It is the mind skating circles around itself as it moves forward. Nothing can make injustice just but mercy. The jury consists of 12 persons chosen to decide who has the better lawyer. Don't ever take a fence down until you know why it was put up. Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in. I have never started a poem yet whose end I knew. Writing a poem is discovering. The best way out is always through. I never dared to be radical when young for fear it would make me conservative when old. You don't have to deserve your mother's love. You have to deserve your father's. Education is hanging around until you've caught on. If society fits you comfortably enough, you call it freedom. One aged man, one man, can't fill a house. Poetry is what gets lost in translation. I had a lover's quarrel with the world. They would not find me changed from him they knew, only more sure of all I thought was true. The greatest thing in family life is to take a hint when a hint is intended and not to take a hint when a hint isn't intended. Humor is the most engaging cowardice. There are two kinds of teachers. The kind that fills you with so much quail shot that you can't move, and the kind that just gives you a little prod behind and you jump to the skies. A poem begins as a lump in the throat, a sense of wrong, homesickness, lovesickness. A jury consists of 12 persons chosen to decide who has the better lawyer. The strongest and most effective force in guaranteeing the long-term maintenance of power is not violence in all the forms deployed by the dominant to control the dominated, but consent in all the forms in which the dominated acquiesce in their own domination. The figure a poem makes. It begins in delight and ends in wisdom, in a clarification of life, not necessarily a great clarification, such as sects and cults are founded on, but in a momentary stay against confusion. If you don't know how great this country is, I know someone who does, Russia. The reason why worry kills more people than work is that more people worry than work. I often say of George Washington that he was one of the few in the whole history of the world who was not carried away by power. Always fall in with what you're asked to accept. Take what is given, and make it over your way. My aim in life has always been to hold my own with whatever's going. Not against. With. Half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. The brain is a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you get up in the morning and does not stop until you get into the office. The best things and best people rise out of their separateness. I'm against a homogenized society because I want the cream to rise. Most of the change we think we see in life is due to truths being in and out of favor. Two roads diverged in a wood and me. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. The middle of the road is where the white line is, and that's the worst place to drive. It's a funny thing that when a man hasn't anything on earth to worry about, he goes off and gets married. Thanks for watching. If you like this videos, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment.